and Jim in West Palm Beach, Florida. Hey, Jim, you wanted to disagree that allowing undocumented workers in the United States to become citizens will help the economy. Go ahead, all right?
You made a comment earlier, right, about a quote from, it was a press release from the White House, I think.
As I recall, Victoria was sharing the information. I'm not sure what her source was.
Okay, and what I don't understand about that is that with here I got some paperwork. I'd like to find out where in history have you seen an anemic economy, which is what we've had for 30 years, can bring in up to 30 million or more than 30 million workers in the next 10 years, and how things are going to get better, how wages are going to go up.
Well, if you're framing it that way, Jim, I would agree with you. But we're not bringing in anybody. Those people are already here. They're already working here. And many, if not most of them, are working for less than $7 an hour. And by giving them some sort of legal status, just a green card, what you do is you take away from their employers the power to tell them, you're going to have to work for $5 an hour, and I'm going to pay you cash so nobody gets any tax money on it. Because if you don't, I will turn you over to ICE.
How can that possibly make any difference when there'll be another illegal alien to take his place if he doesn't work that cheap?
Well, because if this immigration bill is done right,
illegal aliens from coming in.
There's a very simple way you stop them from coming in. You make it illegal to hire them.
Yeah, well, we've already done that, and you see how well it worked.
It worked brilliantly up until 1986, when Ronald Reagan stopped enforcing that law. And from 1986, and up until 1986, you had 1 million people who came north every year in the spring and 1 million people who went south every year in the fall. They came up for the picking season, basically. And a few would stay, a few would go. But basically, we did not have an illegal immigration problem in the United States. Reagan stopped enforcing the law against illegal employers. It used to be if you were caught at your meat packing plant or in your construction site with people who were not legal citizens, and typically it was the unions who turned people in. If you were caught with people who were not legal citizens, you, the employer, could go to jail or suffer really huge fines. Reagan changed that.
What's going to change that in the future?
The law that is being proposed, has been proposed explicitly has provisions to criminalize or recriminalize the employment of people who are not citizens.
That's what the last law did.
No, it didn't.
Well, it was enforced.
Well,
it's like that. They always put these. No, look. If you look at the 1986 amnesty, all these things were put in place. Very same thing. We're going to end illegal immigration. This is going to put an end to it. We're going to legalize.
I don't believe it, though. That was done by Republicans, and they very much did not want to end illegal immigration because their buddies in industry wanted more cheap labor.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who did it. They put those things in law, and nobody's been enforcing them since the mid-'90s.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter
since the mid-'80s.
Put in law. What I'm trying to tell you is that they have on the books ready to come in, doubling the HB1 workers.
Yeah, I know.
Doubling the amount. That's going to put over 160,000 a year.
I know. I'm totally opposed to it.
By the way, let me just point something out, too. I don't want to take up too much time, but there used to be, you have to put in a labor condition application to get an HB1 or HB worker visa in.
Yep.
And they used to print those. Those used to be public, that you could go on a website. And when you saw who they were bringing in, I mean, the worst case in my county alone was one that said somebody wanted to bring a manager in for a dollar store, and he needed an HB1 visa.
Wow.
When you see that kind of abuse happening, and I mean it's going to be full-on scale abuse that this amnesty is going to bring on. You know, this is a really, really bad situation, and you cannot add 30 million people to this economy.
It's not 30; it's 13.
Anywhere but down.
It's not 30; it's somewhere between 10 and 13.
No,
and as I said, they're already here.
No, let me write it down for you. There's 1 million plus that come in every year legally.
Not in the last 3 years. We've actually had net negative immigration from the United States.
No.
People have been leaving
since
2008.
See, there was 900,000, I think, last year came in.
It might have been 900,000 come in. There must have been over 1 million who left because we have had net negative immigration with regard, well, at least between the United States and countries south of the United States. It has been net negative since the crash in 2008.
Well, you have to break that down whether that's illegal or legal. But when you're talking about legal, I'm talking about legal immigration.
Okay, I'm talking about illegal.
Steady 1 million a year.
Okay.
Plus, one year it was.
Well, then we're talking apples and oranges because I'm talking illegal. Jim, I understand your point. I agree with you that when you dilute the labor pool, you drive wages down, and it's not a good thing. And I agree that we need to be putting employers in jail, and that's where I maybe I'm naive, and I hope I'm not. That in my belief that if an immigration law is passed, this issue has become high profile enough, and enough of the middle class is sufficiently engaged and enraged about these kind of things, about the death of the middle class, and increasingly they're being told to blame it on brown people from South America, that there actually will be some enforcement of the law. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. And I agree with you that the current bill that it radically expands all these visas is an abomination. And at least that part of it is. On the other hand, you got between 10 and 13 million people who are here, and they came here because somebody here offered them a job, and we're not doing anything to those people who offered them a job. Instead, we're trying to go after the people who showed up just trying to make their lives better. And that seems to me like it's just fundamentally unfair and wrong. We should be, if we're going to be throwing anybody in jail or deporting anybody, it should be the people who said, hey, come on over, I got a job for you. So, Jim, thank you for the call. We're not going to resolve this immigration issue in 30 seconds here on the air, or 3 minutes here on the air even. And it's a big issue. And frankly, I will be astounded if anything is done on this at all between now and 2016, because the Republicans are in such disarray and they control the House of Representatives. But we'll see.